Let me ask you about Richard Curtis's screenplay. It has this great ability to blend romance and humour and all these other things. I mean, what was it like? It must be a privilege to read a script like this, because every aspect is so well choreographed, if you like.
Yeah, that's what you get when you with Richard Curtis. Like, everything is so beautifully formed, and you're so drawn in. I sometimes think when I watch a Richard Curtis film, if it's on the TV, I'll be like, I'll just watch 10 minutes, but it's impossible. You have to watch the end, and you almost hold your breath with these films, and you laugh and you cry, and at the end you just feel better about life. And there's not many people, I think, writers certainly, or filmmakers that can do that. And with the combination of Richard and Danny was extraordinary. It was really, remarkable.
Your relationship with Himesh, I mean, is extraordinary in the movie. Was that an easy thing to grasp between the two of you? Was it kind of like an immediate chemistry?
No, it was really easy. I don't know why, because he's a total dude probably, and it was really relaxed and lovely. And it's about friendship really, and I think that we had quite an easy bond from the word go, and it was really, it was great. Thank you.
This film has a lot of things which we go without. We go without Coke in this film, cigarettes, Harry Potter. What's the one thing on this earth that you can't live without, and why?
Peking duck pancakes from a Chinese takeaway. Oh my God, I couldn't live without that, with plum sauce and cucumber. Oh.
And how was it learning from the director legend that is Danny Boyle?
It was pretty incredible. I feel so grateful to have got to work with him. He's honestly, he's like a magician. He's incredible, and I feel very lucky.
Talk us through your feelings on the Beatles and the kind of magic for you of what they represent.
The what, sorry?
The Beatles and what they represent.
The Beatles, I think it's like the spirit that they had, like these four guys from Liverpool that just like, with their like honesty and their music and their integrity, which they like held onto the whole way through, just like changed the world. And their music is something that's a treasure, and
Everyone's asking about Ed Sheeran, but I mean, you know, you're an actress, he's a singer, but what was he like on set?
Well, I actually only really rehearsed with him. I was never really on set with him, but what was really remarkable was how relaxed he was. He's got such ease, and as an actor, that's one of the most important things. So he's a total natural. I wish I was as relaxed as he was.
Congratulations on the film, absolutely wonderful. Let me ask you about the character. I mean, as an actor, did you kind of see a bit of yourself in him, that, you know, as a struggling musician trying to make it? Did you see a little bit of yourself in that as an actor yourself?
I did. I mean, I've never tried to be a musician, so I guess I've never struggled in that sense. But sometimes, what I identified was the imposter syndrome that he then later on feels, because every now and then when these kind of things happen, you start to feel a bit of imposter syndrome. Like, should I be here? Is this really happening?
That's great. I mean, with Richard, it has such a great balance between the comedy and the romance and everything else in between. When you read the script, what struck you the most? Was it the romantic story? Was it your character's journey, or was it kind of the mixture of everything in together?
It was that he'd managed to put all that stuff that he does so brilliantly anyway, the romance, the comedy, no one does it better, and then put this twist in and tell this incredible story that celebrates love and happiness and joy, which is what his films are about anyway, but then put the best band ever into it in the most genius way. It was such a thrill to read it the first time. So,
congratulations on the movie.
Oh, well,
in terms of writing, what was with the germ of the idea? Did you have the Beatles idea first and then kind of do the script around it, or was it vice versa?
I got the Beatles idea. A guy called Jack Barth thought it up, and then I was allowed to write the screenplay, and it was pretty well the most fun I've ever had, because I could just cheat. Whenever I ran out of ideas, I could go, oh, wait a minute, I'll stick in The Long and Winding Road, or Hey Jude, or another masterpiece.
Yeah, and you took some things out of the world, obviously Harry Potter and everything else.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you kind of exercised out of the script that was originally in there? Anything else?
I wanted to take out the whole career of one movie star, but we couldn't get a movie star to agree to remove himself from the canon, which was quite funny. They were all a bit scared. I didn't even ask Jo Rowling whether she minded. I think she'll be all right.
Yeah. In terms of working with Daddy, how collaborative are you? Are you both kind of on the set together?
Yeah, we were very collaborative. I mean, he's in charge of directing. On the set, I was mainly in charge of eating the bacon rolls and the croissants. But we taught, we were together on the casting, together on the editing, and, very close on the script.
Fantastic film. I loved your character so much. He's such a lovely guy. It must be great when you read that character that he had such a great journey on his own, as well as all this other stuff that was going on around him.
I don't know, really. You never really know how it's going to work out until the end. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I thought I was happy to be doing it, but you don't really know at the end. Stuff can get cut out, or you never really know how it's going to work out in the end.
You and Himesh have a fantastic chemistry at the film. I can imagine, was that kind of an easy thing to do? Did you kind of get along straight away? I can imagine
Pretty much immediately, to be honest. So that always helps, doesn't it? But I think they cast it with that in mind. You know, like these guys, they get very good at seeing people's personalities and how they're gonna work together. And I think that's thought about. You know, but yeah, I got on with him straight away, so it was really easy.
How was it working with someone like Danny Boyle? And you know, because obviously you work with small directors. You work with in Benjamin. You worked with Simon Amstell, obviously as well, and you're going from Danny Boyle. I mean, is it different at all working with someone like Danny Boyle? Or is it kind of similar circumstances?
This is no real. Every director's got their own kind of angle. It's the same thing, really. It's just levels of kind of obsession and commitment. And Danny's got incredible amounts of commitment to whatever he's doing. And so that's just great, you know. That is why he's so good.
And given Britain's in a bit of a, turmoil at the moment with politics, everything else going on, this is one of those movies that everyone can kind of forget their troubles and go and have a great time. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I hope so. Because it's made with good faith.
Absolutely loved your characters' studio tracks on the tracks.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant. That is just classic. What was it like kind of playing record producer but also playing someone who was very similar to Jack, trying to follow his dreams of being a record producer and stuff like that?
Yeah, Gavin's just such a lovely character. I feel like the last couple of years I've managed to box myself in being quite sort of a horrible kind of people, so this was such a joy to play. But Gavin's so light and lovely and just really enjoys the Beatles music, and I think that was just so fun to do, obviously, you know.
It's such a crazy concept, taking something like the Beatles out of the world. I mean, do you guys kind of think, oh my God, what would happen if this actually was a real thing?
Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy, isn't it? I think it's also like it's one of those films where you sort of imagine what you would do with given this sort of superpower, and I think that's I always love those sort of films where it's sort of a what if, but it's this kind of odd sort of premise, I guess, for and obviously there's a lot of other maybe little tweaks, little other specific things that are skewed in this sort of new world. So, but yeah, such fun. Yeah.
I can imagine as actors as well, it's one of those stories where you can see a little bit of yourself in each character, and that you've been there, struggled, tried to make it and stuff like that. Does that give you kind of, I don't know, a bit of hope in that people can follow their dreams and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the Beatles inspired so much as well. For just generations as well, and it's so wonderful to be a part of a film that sort of celebrates them.
And you and Himesh and Lily seem to have a great time together. You all kind of have such great chemistry together. Was that an easy thing to kind of grasp? Was that straight from the word go? You were just like a house on fire?
Definitely, yeah. We rehearsed doing the songs before filming, and that was a lot of fun. And we all really got on really well. Lily is just lovely, and Himesh just as well, really lovely. Does a great job with all the songs, and just has such a job on his hand, remembering them all, and like Jack.
It's quite a tricky concept.
Trying to remember Eleanor Rigby, and but no, had such wonderful moments on the film. Yeah.
And I was just saying to some of the other guys, I mean, it's one of those films that, given Britain, a bit of turmoil and all that, with kind of uncertainty, it is one of those films where people can go along and have such a good time. Do you kind of feel that it's an important movie to come at this kind of time?
Yeah, it's needed. I think it's nice to have something that's a bit lighter and hopefully unites people together. Obviously, seeing over the last 2 or 3 years or whatever, it's dividing the country. So yeah, it's nice to have. Maybe Brexiteers and Remainers can both enjoy the Beatles anyway, so that's good. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey